Hey guys, welcome to Craving for Baking. Today I am going to be showing you guys how to make rainbow cake, and this is my first time making it, but it was so good and delicious and amazing. So to begin, you just want to start by separating your 6 egg whites from the egg yolks. So I've got 2 bowls, and you want to make sure that you crack the egg whites into the larger bowl and the egg yolks into the smaller bowl, because we're going to be making our egg whites more voluminous, and yeah, we need a bigger bowl for that. So you want to do that to all 6 of your eggs. You want to separate them all, and then once you've done that, we can move on to the next step. So this is my last egg. You want to make sure that you don't get any egg yolks into the egg whites, otherwise it won't whip up as well as it would if it didn't have any egg yolks in it. So you want to try your hardest not to get any egg yolks in there. So now you can set your egg yolks to the side, and we'll get to that in a bit. And to the egg whites, you just want to mix that really well until you get a really nice fluffy white and voluminous mixture. So eventually, after you've mixed for about 2 minutes on high speed, it should look something like this. Then after you mix for about 5 minutes, it should be very nice and stiff. It should have really good stiff peaks, and that is how you want it. So now we can move on to our egg yolks, and you just want to mix that until you get a really nice and pale mixture like this. So we just want to do this just to make sure that we don't get any kind of yellowy tint to our cakes when we dye it. So this is why we're doing this, but essentially this is a vanilla Victoria sponge cake. So this is perfect. This is how it should look. It should be really thick, nice and fluffy. So now I'm going to combine my whipped egg yolks with my whipped egg whites, and I'm just going to fold them into each other. It doesn't really matter if you deflate some of the egg yolks with the egg whites. It's completely fine. We don't really need it to be that fluffy. It's just for the color. So I'm just going to mix that all in, and then eventually it should turn out to look something like this. So now we can move on to the actual kind of cake bit of this. So we're going to add in our butter to a very large bowl, and then I'm going to melt that for about 20 seconds, and then I'm going to add in my sugar. So this isn't going to be a very sweet cake, as we're going to be using some very sweet icing, so just don't use that much sugar if you're going to raise the sugar amount. So now I'm going to add in my oil, and you just want to mix that in. I haven't tried this recipe with all oil, but I'm pretty sure you could, and it would be better for the color as well. So now I'm going to add in my vanilla extract and give that a nice mix. And then once that's all done, everything's nice and incorporated, you want to go ahead and add in your egg mixture. So I'm just doing it in parts since I want it to be a bit easier for me to mix in. But of course you could just chuck the whole thing in and then just mix it all together. So I'm just folding this, and then once it's all nice and incorporated together, I'm just going to sift in my flour with my baking powder. I'm going to sift that into the egg and butter and sugar mixture, and then I'm going to fold that in, and you just want to completely mix that all together so you get a really nice batter. So after you've done that, it should look like this, really silky and smooth and beautiful in color, and that's exactly what you want. So I added about a teaspoon of milk to each one, and then I'm going to add in my food coloring. And what I did to the batter was I measured the whole batter, and that came to about 1,282 grams, and then I divided that by 6, and then I rounded what I got to the nearest decimal point, and then I put the divided amount into each of the bowls, and then that's what happened. So now I'm going to add in my food coloring to each until I get every color of the rainbow, and then I can put all of my batter into the pans. So I only had 3, so I did it in 2 batches, but of course if you have all 6, then you can go ahead and do it in one go. So now I'm going to put that into the oven and then bake that for about 20 minutes at 180 degrees or until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. So then I cut around the edges just to make sure that any of the hard bits don't really get in the way. And now I'm putting that onto my cake stand, and then I can go ahead and frost this. So I'm just piping a circle around the outer edge just as a kind of guideline, and then I'm filling in that circle. And I'm using a turntable. It's really easy to use one if you're making a massive layer cake like this. So I'm just spreading out my frosting, and this is my cream cheese frosting that I've used in many recipes. So the link to that video will be right here or in the description box. So now I'm just stacking up all my cakes and then frosting them, and then I do a crumb coat on it, and then I put that crumb coat cake into the fridge for about an hour just for that to completely set, so that when I do the final frosting, none of the crumbs kind of get in the way. And you want to make sure as you're icing the layers that your cake isn't lopsided. So if you kind of see it moving out of place, then kind of just give that a little push to make sure that it's in the right place. So this is my cake after I've done the crumb coat and after I put it in the fridge for about an hour. So now I'm going to do the final coating, and I'm just going to ice the whole cake. And this is such a really cool and beautiful recipe. So of course you can do this ahead of time. You can even make this for a birthday party. It's a really nice cake. So yeah, I love this recipe so much. So after I did that, I added some Easter eggs to the top, and then to the bottom I had some leftover green cake, so I just made that into crumbs, and then I put that around the outer edge. So this is what my cake looked like. It's so beautiful and it tastes so good. So I hope you guys try it out, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!